But hopefully we'll see different approaches. Obviously, Frantic going to be the favored team going into this. But yeah, we'll get this game going in just a moment here. We're going to start the game already. And I don't know, we can dish some more subs out afterwards. You know, if you've got Twitch Prime, you can sub for free. But yeah, if you are subbed, you get an extra entry or two. It's like an extra 5 entries or something into the giveaway. So the way the giveaway works is you follow us, you get an entry. You subscribe, you get 5 entries, and you can use your free sub to get more entries into the giveaway and have a better chance to win the HTC Vive Pro. Everyone wins.
Sounds like a good thing to me.
Damn right. All right, we're going in. Welcome, everyone.
Perfect.
Oh, my game crashed. Okay. Well, let me just rejoin real quick.
Okay, all good.
You can stay in. I'll catch up to you.
Right. Okay, I'll just wait for you to jump into the game, then we can start.
Yeah, I don't know why this happens. Like, my AoE randomly crashes on launch. It's very inconsistent. Hopefully this time... Yep, there we go. It's working now. So welcome, everyone. Game number 1 between Frantic and Heresy. We're back on Bedouins. And we have, look at this, in the yellow, Nilly AoE.
Nice one.
He's playing, guys. He's doing it.
Looks really good, man. Good to see Nilly for Team Heresy. Something really enjoyable here. And yeah, let me just point out, he is in the quite to the middle in the map here, and he has chosen the Chinese. His teammate Melkor, Matthias, to the very right-hand side of the map with the Huns, that is. Nice choice. And furthermore, their other teammate, that is our beloved Eddie, quite close to Nilly in purple color, and he has the Turks. Nice
Yeah. I had the pleasure of meeting Eddie and Nilly, so 2 of the 3 players on the Heresy team. I had the pleasure of meeting them both in Italy last month. And really nice guys. Eddie, what a great guy. And Nilly as well, hosting NAC too. It's great to see them both here, teammates side by side, fishing these ponds. You know, we're not biased casters at all. Let's be honest here. The favored team is going to be Frantic, but I just want to acknowledge these guys, and Nilly especially, doing so much for the community, and it's going to be great to see him playing in this match. Like you say, all 3 of the Heresy players quite close together, actually. Eddie and Nilly within slapping distance of one another, as Nilly would say. And Melkor off to the edge there. But look how close they are to CL. Could this put CL in danger?
They have a nice neighbor there to the south of Nilly's base. That is CL indeed, with the Chinese extremely close. There's a lot of danger indeed. You're correct with this one. And yeah, really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. Question always is on Nomad type of matchups, in this case on Bedouins, do they know about each other? Looking from the point of view of Eddie, no sign of knowing about CL. What about Nilly here? Well, he doesn't know it's neither. And finally, CL's point of view here. Does he know? Well, he doesn't know it neither. Okay, interesting stuff.
They're all in the dark. None of them have a clue. No. CL knows where Eddie is. He saw the house.
Yeah, he found the house, right.
But he doesn't know Nilly's there yet. And it's always hard to tell because they might have an indication if they lose a sheep that they're scouting with. But they'll bump into each other pretty soon, I imagine. I mean, look at this. They're building houses so close, and they're just out of sight of each other. It's incredibly, incredibly close. But it's only a matter of time until they find out. And Frantic have kind of just left CL on his own. Tim and Vivi are just buddy up on the west of the map. They're Vivi in the blue as the Persians, Tim in the green as the Ethiopians. But don't you think it's interesting how we've got Persians, Chinese, Ethiopians for Frantic, which were the standard picks of the last game with SY and BZK, but Heresy have gone for Huns and Turks. Eddie playing Turks. He is an arena player after all.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice for sure, especially Turks. Huns, I see some justification right away. For the Turks, of course, you can give some arguments as well. Even though I want to still wait to see what Eddie's actually going to go for. Does he want to go for Scouts? Question mark. I am not sure if this is going to work. We'll see. We'll
Tell
see.
you what it is. It's Scouts into light cav from Eddie. That's the Turkish strat.
Yeah,
I'm kidding, but well, you never know. If he has some Scouts left over, they will become light cav. But this is interesting. A little bit of villager fighting going on. Everybody was Philly fighting over here. CL just like, Nilly, you're not having these shorefish. Nilly's like, I could bring more villagers over. It's no problem.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah, that's true indeed. You see the villager fight that's taking place. So
she's taking it. She's taking it. She's not even fighting back. Ooh. Nilly, you need to train your villagers better, man.
Oh, unfortunate stuff here. CL does slightly better that for sure.
Yeah, well, CL definitely coming out on top. No doubt about that. But well, we'll see. Feudal Age timing's going to be important. Nearly there with an outpost. He's on the stone already. Feudal Age coming in. He's the fastest up. And I imagine we're going to see some towers dropped onto this area from CL. He's already walling in these villas, building outposts for vision. And he's got towers on the brain here. He's thinking about it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if you're so close to each other, why not going for the towers right away? Something that you can see on this map quite often. If you just don't want to go for the scouts, why not go for the towers here? It's also extremely effective just to zone a lot and maybe take out a whole opponent there. If you're good enough, you don't take out yourself by going for towers. That's always a danger with that one. We'll see. But something quite important to mention, of course, you've said it, Vivi and his mate Tim, right? To the left-hand side, quite far away from each other. From the others, that is. They could also go for some heavy boom, ideally speaking, and then strike in the Castle Age with extremely strong armies, at least in theory, that is. Let's see how successful they're going to be.
Oh, first death of the game. Nilly losing a villager there.
Oh, there we go.
But yeah, you're right. They could go Castle Age, start spamming knights across the map, and Nilly, if he stays feudal and does a lot of towers, that could come to bite him, as he would have to give up a lot of ground to those knights.
True indeed. Let's see. I mean, Nilly now in feudal age. He's able to drop a tower whenever he feels ready for that one. He does it now next to the house of CL, that is. Next player to go up is, I mean, Vivi is on the way as well, and he is already in the next age, and he wants to go for a stable right away. So scouts from him we are going to see, interestingly. Okay, I see that one. I understand. Question also is Melkor, right? He's so far away, and he clicked up not too early, but he drops the barracks, so that's an indication that he wants to go for scouts. I mean, with Melkor, something that happens in 90% of the cases.
Still, to be honest, because he'll build a stable and a blacksmith. That would be my prediction. Because he's on gold as well, so I imagine he'll do a stable blacksmith and then go knights. I mean, he could do archery ranges and go cav archers as well. We'll see, but all in all, I mean the Heresy team, it looks like it's nearly doing the feudal age aggression, and he's in with the towers. And then I think both Eddie and Melkor will FC. We'll have to see if the scouts from Vivi will do damage here.
Indeed, Nilly does a good job here. A lot of aggression, a lot of villages that he's taking with him in order to go for the tower rush. Currently, it's just placed 3 towers, as you can see, to the left-hand side of CL's base. So left-hand side is fully zoned. And what kind of resources does CL have access to? Well, in theory, a lot to the right-hand side, but the right-hand side is being taken away by Nilly as well. Even more villages to the right-hand side, another tower, eventually taking away the gold for CL. Therefore, CL just stuck there with his stone income. 2 little ponds that he has to the south. Doesn't look too good, even though there's another gold to the south of his TC, CL. Just in case he gets out of the situation and maybe accomplishes something. But certainly now he needs to go for the counter towers as soon as possible, just to make sure that Nilly doesn't take away everything.
I think Heresy are in a great position at the moment. Eddie's actually going to sling Melkor. Might even send a bit of extra to Nilly to help him out, but they've done great because they've walled up They've walled up their gold. They've walled up their stones. The scouts from Vivi have done nothing. And meanwhile, the towers from Nili have done good damage onto CL. Heresy are in a great position. Melkor will be the fastest to the Castle Age. He'll receive Sling from Eddie. And I think then we'll see, a lot of knights coming out from this Hun player. And I think, Melkor made a couple of scouts as well, just to explore the map a little more. Makes a lot of sense. But, the scouts from Vivi, they're in. You can't keep them out forever.
Yeah, that's a problematic situation there. So we were saying that Vivi was not successful with the scout rush, indeed, but now he has made sure that he found his next victim, and that is Nili, currently losing 1 or 2 villagers there, even more than that. Oh, that doesn't
5, 6.
I
can count. 6 dead villagers from Nili. Ouch. So his towers have done decent damage, but he's the only player with 7 deaths. The only player with any deaths in the whole game. And so, yes, his towers have been okay. They've been good, but they've not done damage. Whereas Vivi now has found that damage with 6 Villi kills. Now it's going to be on Melkor. Or is it? Is Eddie slinging? I thought he was slinging, but now he's going up to the Castle Age. So I think I might be wrong on that. We might see Eddie. I don't know, because he's gone he's gone Market Blacksmith. I saw the Market and I was like, surely, okay, maybe Eddie's going to sling. But Market Blacksmith and Stone, so it looks like we'll see Janissary from him.
I was going to say,
something which I didn't expect, to be honest, but something that could be very nice.
Yeah, it could be very nice for sure. Genesis have their opportunities to be an extremely strong unit, that's for sure. They can deal a lot of damage, as we all know. So maybe, but also quite of a brave move, right? On the map, like Bedouins, just to go for a castle and then pump out your unique unit like this could be a really dangerous move, but his resource walls were successful enough in order to prevent Vivi's scout rush there. And now, let's see, as Melkor now is in the next age, is he going to be able to achieve something? That's the question.
Sorry. This is beautiful. Look at this. This makes so much sense, actually. No, Nili getting raided by crossbow from Tim.
Right.
But I think the idea is essentially, Nili, you build towers, you lock down the map, and I'm going to drop a castle on CL's TC, and we're going to kill it before we can get to the Castle Age. This is the question. Can they kill that TC before CL goes to the Castle Age? Not if he attacks this house, he can't. But if he attacks the TC and they send the knights, maybe they can.
Yeah, that's a possibility for sure. Just to take out one player like this one
he's
would
sending
be
the villagers.
really impressive.
Eddie, he's such a memer. He's dropping a mill on the TC. He's so confident he's going to kill it. Oh, man, I thought he was going to attack the TC with the vills, but he really does need to attack the TC here. I don't know if he's going to kill it before the Castle Age comes through. That would be annoying. But CL's going to lose some vills that maybe as the Janissary start to come out as well. What a messy game. I love it.
Yeah, it's a messy game indeed. Something that happens on Bedouins quite often. So this is really what makes me happy on Bedouins, to see some kind of little messed up gameplay here, a little chaotic. But now you can see CL has a couple of villages garrisoned inside of his TC just to make sure that he can reach the next age. That's quite important for him. As I said, he has safe gold income. Safe, let's say it's called safe, surrounded by 2 towers of his. Let's see if he's going to make use of that. One question is, what does he want to do?
The Janissaries are coming out. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's so close. Nah, he'll get it. He'll get it. That's a shame for Eddie. If they stopped the Castle Age, that would have been huge, especially if it was in like 90% or above. But they will kill that TC eventually anyway.
Yeah.
It's just a question of would they do it in time.
Yeah, true indeed. But yeah, the castle by CL is going up now. But I think this move by Heresy is really nice. Taking down a CL like this, because he has the Chinese, the civilization that actually excels on Bedouins due to their nice start that makes them quite fast, interestingly, and quite strong, that is. And actually, well done by Heresy for now, as CL doesn't keep up properly. Currently building his castle to gain safety. Question is, what does he want to do afterwards? That's the main thing, losing a lot of villagers like that.
Yeah, Melkor now starting to produce a lot of knights, but it's really Frantic. You have the advantage in military at the moment. They've got a lot more military on the field. We've got 15 crossbow from Tim. We've got 13 knights from Vivi, or knights and scouts, and he's still doing damage with those scouts, actually, which is huge, killing more and more of Nili's vills. Nearly struggling at only 28 villagers at the moment, which is 6 behind the lowest on the Frantic team, and that's CL. So, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be the case that Nearly is behind CL here.
Exactly, it should be the other way around, ideally speaking. At least that's what I understood from tower rushing others, but it didn't happen the way he's expected it to be. At the same time, though, Melkor was able to get a couple of villages off Vivi, but Vivi now stabilized the situation inside of his base, strikes back with a set of knights and a camel against the knights of Melkor. Still, now he has bloodlines, that's important, but quite late there for sure.
Yeah, you'll have to excuse me a second. I'm going to mute myself because I'm coughing a lot.
All good, all good. So, as we can see, Vivi is now inside of the base of Melkor, so some counter raiding that is. A lot of villagers biting the dust. Doesn't look too good all of a sudden. Melkor is slowly losing the control, you might say. That is because he's being raided, a lot of idle time being created. It looks better in comparison if you look at Vivi's base, that is. Everything quite okay for him, quite safe. Adding a fourth, this is at the fourth or third. Seems to be the third. All right, sounds good, looks good. But yeah, even though it starts so well for Heresy, they're now about to lose the control. Also, Tim, not to be underestimated with a set of crossbows with the Ethiopian bonus. So it is about to be a tough time for Team Heresy.
Yeah, I'm hopefully back. I don't know. I got this suddenly. I got a very tickly cough and have this urge to cough every couple of seconds.
I know what you mean, man.
But yeah, you're right. You've got Tim and Vivi coming in together here, and it's essentially 2v1 on Melkor. Where's Eddie?
Where's Eddie?
Where's Eddie's army right now? He's got 3 Janissaries in his castle, and Melkor's now 2v1. This is not a good situation.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, look at this. Eddie went for the Janissaries. He dropped the blacksmith in the market, so an indication that he might want to go for a boom at the same time, depending on the situation. And he does that currently. 3 military. What is this? And it is called GG. The strat didn't work out in a way. They couldn't just take out CL effectively. It was just nearly, unfortunately, taking out himself, let's say. I mean, that sounds rude, but just because he went for the tower rush and he just was so vulnerable. And it happened. Nicely done by Vivi, shifting his scout rush from Eddie to Nilly there. Was super effective, then gaining the help of his other teammates, of the other teammate players. That was just too effective, resulting in Nilly with just 17 villages in the end, 0 military, and yeah, ultimately resulting in the GG. There we go.
Yeah, I think the MVP for me there was probably Vivi. No real question about that. 35 kills. He did so much damage with those scouts, man. Like he killed so many of Nilly's villies, and it's pretty unfortunate. Apparently, I'm really low. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, since you came back, it's a little bit lower, but okay. I know why.
Let me see if I can fix that. Better now?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Now it's better.
Okay. Well, let me know, guys. I can try and fix that if there's an issue with the volume. But yeah. So for me, Vivi MVP, and Nilly did a good. He did what he needed to do, right? He did his role, which was to slow down CL and give them the map control, and then Eddie followed through with the castle, but that was it. There was no more follow through after that point.
Exactly. That shouldn't have been like this, because Nilly was so vulnerable, having gone for the Trush. So some defensive help by Eddie would have been really nice. It just didn't happen, unfortunately.
Yeah. Nice idea by Heresy to try and take CL out of the game, turn it into a 3v2, but very well defended by Frantic, and we're giving them the... well, they are winning the game right here. So apologies for the coughing and apologies for the mic issue, but I think we're good now. And we're going to go into game number 2 in a couple of minutes. Let's just pop out of the game. I'm just wondering if I missed any more gift subs, because if so, I need to gift some more out. Let me check that. No, all right. No one wants more subs then, obviously. I see how it is. All right. Well, so... it's 1-0. We'll see Dry River next. It was quite a quick game. Heresy kind of fell apart once they didn't have a follow through, I guess. You know, they did fall apart very quickly.
Yeah, true indeed. That happens quite fast. So the next map is Dry River, right?
Yeah, we'll see what they can do here because Dry River is a little different in the sense that they start further apart. They're probably going to try and play more standard, but when it comes to playing standard, I think that does not favor Heresy. I think Heresy has to play out of the box. I think Heresy has to try something a little different because they are the underdogs. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
So let's just take a quick look at the team stats here. Looks like we still got BZK-SY up. If Robo, you could change that to Heresy and Frantic, we'll see the difference between the teams and see why it is that Frantic are the favored team.
Right.
Robo sleeper. No. I don't think Robo was expecting me to show stats there because, I mean, well, why would I, right? Those stats were before me. Hey, Nilly. Nilly's in the chat. Oh, we still got BZK-SY. All right. He's changed it, apparently.
No.
Done, he says. Done or not done? I don't know. Aussie lag. Maybe we got player stats. Ah, there we go. We got player stats. We're
Nice.
looking at Tim and Mateus. Mateus has played the most for Heresy, actually. But it's nowhere near as much as Tim, who has played in the 1v1 events. He's played in all of the team game events, and not a positive win-to-loss ratio for either team, but certainly more successful for Frantic so far.
Yeah, that's for sure indeed. As you can see, 17 to 18 that Tim has here in comparison. So it's not a positive KD, if you can say it like this, but still, Tim, in my opinion, extremely strong player. A lot of versatility when it comes to his gameplay. Even though people pinpoint his style down as a rather defensive one or something like this, but I think Tim has a lot of potential, a lot of strength, that is. And yeah, something to consider. Melkor being one, let's say he has a strength as well. His macro is on point, that's for sure. But yeah, I see differences there for sure. As you said it, Frantic is the favorite here in this case, and Heresy being the underdog. But I think still, if they work well together, the Heresy players, they are able to pull off something here because they still have some creativity they could use and hopefully maybe catch Frantic off guard to achieve something positive.
Maybe. We'll have to see. Like I say, I think they have to think outside of the box in order to make that work. Apologies, I can't get the Heresy Frantic stats up. It's not updating for some reason. But we're going to go and take a look at game number 2 now. We're going to go into Dry River next, and we'll see if Heresy can do something here. As far as out-of-the-box strategies are concerned, perhaps some kind of a sling. It's not out of the box, but it maybe is the best thing they could do.
Yeah, that's for sure. Probably we're going to see Indians again. Therefore, if you just rely on their strong boom, that would be the rather classical way to go for, I guess. Well, let's see. Maybe someone wants to add Huns to the mix and just gain a lot of speed with their stables, just pump out a lot of units. We'll see in a second, that is.
Well, that Huns Indian combo is so good because of the stable bonus, right?
Right.
You can make knights really quickly, but you can also make camels really quickly as well. And you've got fully upgraded, best upgraded camels. You've got the best upgraded knights, and well, with the exception of the Franks, of course. But you know what I mean. But that's a solid combination right there, and that's a combination we're going to see from the Frantic team. CL playing as the Huns in the north there, his pocket player Tim in the green playing as the Britons, and then to the west of the map in the blue, Vivi playing as the Indians. So that combo rocking it once again seems to be a popular combo with these top teams. I guess implying that by saying that Heresy is not a top team because they've not gone for that combo at all. And they've gone for Persians, Saracens, Indians.
Well, interesting combination if you ask me. I'm sure that Nili has a specific plan there, having chosen the Persians, that is. Indians, a rather classical choice, and Saracens, well, wow, that one is quite interesting for sure. I mean, they have an extremely broad tech tree, like people say, right? It's true. But the question is, what does Fino want to go for? I mean, he's up there and let's say top of the right-hand side, purple color. So he's regarded as the flanks or something like that, let's say, on a map like Dry River. And then Melkor being the so-called pocket in this case as the Indians. And lastly, it is Nili with the Persians. I am not sure about this combination. Still, I believe that they got a specific game plan. Maybe it's going to be something unexpected. I mean, the Civ choices are unexpected. Maybe this is something that will make them win or at least have really nice situations to engage.
Well, this is the thing, right? Heresy have to plan. They have to have a strat. That's the only way that they're going to be able to get some kind of an edge. And they need to think, like I say, outside of the box. And I think that's why we're seeing these civs. But it's interesting because the Saracens, this is the first time they've been picked in the Middle East stage. And we might not see them again until the best of fives come in and players have to pick the Saracens in one of their matches. If game 4 and 5 happens, then we'll have to see the Saracens. But Turks and Saracens, two civs which haven't been picked in the tournament at all so far, getting picked right here. We'll see what Heresy decide to do. Obviously, Frantic playing a much more standard setup. We might see the Huns slinging the Indians using the stable bonus to pump out camels, supported by the Briton crossbow. That was how we saw them play it last time. Question is, what are Heresy going to do with this Civ setup?
Yeah, good question. I gotta be honest, I can only repeat this question. For now, though, worth mentioning is that all of the Heresy players are now part of the middle of the map, getting their hands on the shorefish. For the others, it is CL being quite late there, but why not? Why not? And the others also making sure that they get access to the shorefish. I'm just asking myself if we're gonna see some scout action from all of the players of Heresy. Is that maybe one thing they want to go for some early aggression? It could be possible, but with the Saracens, it's not the most effective way, just to be dead honest here. I don't see too much of a economical bonus in order to get to the next stage as soon as possible and then to gain a kind of advantage, but maybe there is something to that. The most important thing now being that Melkor on the way to Feudal Age, and yeah, certainly an indication that he wants to go for the scouts. Let's see.
Yeah, Fëanor as well going up. Worth noting, Fëanor replacing Eddie in this game. Melkor, Fëanor, the Irish brothers. And we got Nili going up as well. So all three of the Heresy team up to the Feudal Age before anyone on SY is clicked up. So you might be onto something there with triple scout play, for example. Could be interesting. But with that said, Fëanor not building a barracks just yet. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he'll drop down a market and start slinging. But yeah, at the moment, the barracks is up for Melkor. The barracks is up for Nili. And Nili's going for militia right now. Is he following this up with men-at-arms then? Like, what's the play, Nili? Is he going to just drop down a... Okay, he's built a mining camp and he's taking gold, so maybe men-at-arms then. Okay.
Yeah, by the looks of it, certainly a possibility. Question is, how effective is it going to be? I like the placement of his barracks for that one because he's not that far away from his opponent anymore. Though the clock is ticking, as you can see, the Frantic players are going to go for some palisade walls. Quite expected there, and it is certainly happening. The middle now is being secured with a set of palisades and houses, that is. And yeah, but still, Vivi is vulnerable. It could happen still. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, the men-at-arms, you know, in a 1v1, it's faster than scouts, right? It is faster than scouts.
Yep.
But in a team game, when the map suddenly gets a lot bigger, by the time your militia make it over, your opponent has had a little bit more time compared to a 1v1. But Nili's going to arrive in the right time here to potentially do some damage. Men-at-arms upgrades coming in, and the men-at-arms will be there to start fighting the vills. It looks like the stable will come up first, but the men-at-arms have to do damage quickly here because the scouts will start to come out. But this is a good position for Nili. He might even find a villager kill as the upgrade comes in, takes the hill, takes the scout, and maybe finds the villager. He's getting surrounded, one villager down. But great initiative by Nili there to get the ball rolling and get the aggression going. He might follow this with a stable as well and make some scouts to follow up. We'll see.
Yeah, why not? It will make sense. It looks really good for now. Nice timing there by Nili for sure. Just for the record, I've seen something done by Fëanor, and that is the market being built. And I can let you know he's going to go for the sling. I just saw it.
Okay.
He's slinging food to Melkor.
Well, that explains the Saracens' cheaper market. Oh
Yeah.
yes, coming in hot, making all the difference right there. And look at that upgrade time for Melkor. That is pretty insane. 12 minutes 50 for the castle upgrade. That's huge. And we're going to see those Indian camels coming out quick time for the Heresy team there. Nicely done. Can Fëanor defend himself? That's the big question now, as was a little bit open, but he's walled himself in now on this right side.
Yeah, quite important. The walling, the resource walls for the shellfish as well as the gold. That's important and effective for the beginning. Let's see if the game just goes further. He needs to step up his protection for sure. But now you can see something is happening in front of the base of Vivi. Currently just busy there dealing with Melkor. A little bit of a back and forth play there with the scouts. A little dance, that is. Let's see.
Something is happening, and that is Heresy perhaps starting to win this game as... Nili sends more and more units forward, and they do defend for now, the SY team, but the Castle Age is in. The camels are coming out, and these Indian camels are just going to tear through the scouts of Vivi. They're going to tear through the archers of Tim as well. And are the Frantic team anywhere near to getting the Castle Age upgrade on any of their players?
No. Good question, to be honest. Let me just double check here the resources for each. I mean, for Vivi, he is certainly far away from that one. For Tim, also not too close. Probably it's just CL. He could do it in a minutes or two. Oh, no, not at all. So they're gonna stay on field edge for a little bit longer, that's for sure. But Melkor there now engaging with his camels, that is, but not too effective. He needs to retreat for now because the army of both Tim and Vivi has grown, and therefore they need to just go back just to profit from the defensive stance, the reinforcement rates, then improve. Let's see. But yeah, still, I'm really looking forward to seeing how Heresy will pull this one off.
Yeah, Vivi going straight into the spearmen of Nili there. That was nice. And with the archers of Nili looking to pick off the spearmen of Vivi, yeah, the camels should start to get more effective around the map. Nice to see Melkor adding in the second and third TC as well, nice and early. It's going to be very much on Melkor's shoulder here to carry the game and get the win for his team. They're in the position to do it. They're pushing out. One thing I wanted to see really quickly, and I don't know if he's done this already. It looks like he might have done. Husbandry, super important here, I feel, especially when there's a lot of scouts running around for Melkor to get that. But look at Vivi finding villagers on Nili again. And Nili is going to be like PTSD from last game all over again. But this time there's some camels nearby to help, so Nili won't lose too much.
Yeah, still he's going to lose a little bit, and that's quite important in the beginning of the game. There's just a snowball effect that is resulting from that one. As you can see, idle time being created for Nili a little bit. Nothing to underestimate, in my opinion. And also on the right-hand side, Fëanor. Problematic situation because, as I said, the passive walls aren't good. They help you, especially if there are scouts coming up. But in this case, it's archers. So they are going to at least annoy Fëanor in a way that a lot of idle time is being created, and he needs to have a good resource income. Currently not given. The entire food income concerning the foods, the shorefish that is, currently quite harmed. Quite delayed.
Should buy him enough time, though, to get support from his teammate. At the moment, that support is a single camel. It's not enough. But Melkor on the other side is doing a lot of damage to Vivi. A lot of dead villagers there. Nearly supporting him with archers as well, killing villagers on this wood line. And the Heresy team have the score lead. They're in a strong position right now. All that they have to do is make sure Fëanor doesn't lose 8 or 9 villagers on this right side. In come the camels, and Melkor's going to make sure he can do his part to keep his brother safe.
Yeah, true. I mean, the position of the archers is just too nice, in my opinion. I always like it if they're just close to this wood line, just to be protected at least from one side. Still, the camels will do that job.
Yes, he gets all of them.
Yeah,
all the archers are down, and this is huge now. This is really huge because look at Nili. He's going to be the next player in the Castle Age, and Heresy are all over this game. Heresy are in a winning position now against Frantic in game number 2.
Looking really good indeed. I mean, you've also pointed out something, and that is extremely important. Melkor has a really good economy going, even though he's the one with the main aggression currently, with the highest military number. He's still able to profit from the fact that he has cheaper villages with the Indians, still has a decent economy, adding a fourth TC to make sure that he has even safer food income, profiting from the fact that he also has this bonus on shorefish. Looking good, and at the moment, he's extremely good inside of really I was going to say really Jao space, Vivi space that is, and yeah, look at this: the stone income, the gold income, now being denied here for Vivi, doesn't look too good for him. The pressure is on.
Doesn't look good at all. I'm just laughing at this crocodile chasing these camels around. It's hilarious. What is that? Look at it.
Nature at its best.
Oh god. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, you don't see crocodiles often, but it's just funny, like a crocodile chasing a camel. What world are we in? Anyway, Melkor doing such an incredible job. And also, I wanted to point out before, I didn't really get the opportunity to say it, but look at the farms for Frantic. They're all farming like crazy. And look at the farms for Melkor. He's not got a single farm down. Look at the farms for Nili. Not a single farm. Look at the farms for Fear. Not a single farm on Heresy's team. And that is winning them the game right now.
Yeah, good observation, David. Just make sure that they have the better and faster food income, currently profiting a lot from this one. Now, Melkor has shifted his focus from Vivi to Tim, and that's also important just to make sure that he harasses as many players as possible, as effectively as possible. Looking quite good because he's done his job inside of Vivi's space, and now it seems that Nili wants to take over there to keep up the pressure, even though it is still the camels of Melkor flooding in. Really well done. The dominance of his camels extremely visible here. Looks so good for him.
Oh, this is huge. They're going to kill more villas of Vivi on the left side. Vivi is a dead man. Yeah, he's going to lose the villas in the tower as well. I think Melkor will surround it. And this is such a good game from Heresy right here. Look at Melkor. Imperial Age coming in. He's got 25 camels. He's got Imperial Age in 25 minutes. And I think they might just win this game from this position. This is a win right here, unless they do something incredibly wrong in the next couple of minutes. And I just don't see how they could possibly, lose this lead at this point. It's fantastic.
Yeah, they got some real good advantage. I mean, one of the most important aspects to that one is that Vivi's still in feudal age and he doesn't sling or something like this. There's no reason for him to be in that age. And he is still being harassed so much that he's not able to actually achieve anything too positive here. And this is something that Heresy can use just for the advantage. That's for sure. And that said, well, I also like how Melkor was successful with his choice not to go for the +2 defensive upgrade that fast. Normally, it's always the question, do you want to go for the quality or the quantity? He's chosen to go for the quantity, and it's still, the effect of that one was that he is successful, even though now he needs to be careful because at least Tim is there with a decent set of crossbows, as well as CL with a couple of knights. He needs to be careful for sure.
Yeah, you're right. He has got to be a little careful, and I think Melkor is playing this one really smart. He's not throwing away units unnecessarily. He's trying to take the best fights, and even though he could probably win this fight with his camels against the knights and the crossbows, he's still holding back just a little bit because he knows that Frantic will not catch up in military count, and he's about to have heavy camel and +5 pierce armor. So once he's got that, he can engage and steamroll this army. I like that Nili's going for cav archers as the Persians here. A little bit beefier than the archers. He's not going all out into military production. Doesn't matter though, because Frantic called GG.
Exactly.
Heresy gets the win. Nice game for Heresy.
That was a great game. Really.
Yeah, it was really good. And they snowballed essentially. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it, indeed. It just happened like this. Wonderful decisions. Melkor extremely successful here with his choices. They all turn out to be the good ones. Also, Nili, not to be underestimated. Nice early aggression. Interesting choice to go for men-at-arms into archers, into calf archers. It turned out to be a good one as well. The pressure was on all the time, and they've been just able to take down Vivi like that, keeping him ineffective throughout the last part of the game completely. And yeah, it didn't seem that CL was too effective neither. There was this little chance in front of Feanor's base that they could maybe harass him, but wasn't too successful. They just Heresy played it so well. Great game.
Yeah, they did. And, we were questioning the Civ choices, and they've just shown us exactly why. Saracens, cheaper market, and all going up to the feudal age super quick, all pressuring extremely aggressively. And we'll take a look at the amount of resources slung by Fëanor there as well. But that was very strong from Heresy. And I mean, I don't want to say an unexpected win, because it's totally reasonable for Heresy to take a win against any team should they, have this kind of team synergy and be able to snowball the game like they did. The question is, can they get another one? Can they actually take out Frantic? Because that would be the real upset. If they win game 3, that would be the real upset. And game 3, well, we'll see the map in just a minute. First, let's take a look at the Chiefs, see what they got there. I'm just going to change the scene so it's a little bit neater. And you can see Melkor with 44 kills, 16 losses, solid. And look at Vivi, man, 60 losses there.
Wow, incredible. 20-60, really, really grim for him. And Malco extremely impressive. 44-16, just 16 units lost. And I guess that at least 5 or 10 of them were just in the very last part of the game, where he was beneath the TC of Vivi, just because he was backing off a little bit. But until then, he was so strong, so nice. Value of his camels, well accomplished.
Yep, looking at the sling, 5,500 resources received from his bro. Not bad at all. And Melkor there with a lot of food. And that's what matters, really. It's all that food. That's how you get the Imperial Age. That's how you get your techs, right? That's how you build your villagers from 4 TCs. Although he didn't have quite as much gold, doesn't matter. You got food. And that's the really important resource when you're being slung like this. Huge economy, 84 villagers compared to the 50 of Fëanor and Tim, 57 from CL. And Melkor voted as one of the most improved players this year in Age of Empires on the AoE Zone thread. And maybe we can see why. Let's see what they can do in Game 3.
Yeah, that's for sure. Melkor is so strong, but Fëanor also a lot of potential. Really nice to see this one. And the next map is going to be on Oasis. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Oasis is the third map in this best of 3. It's 1-1, and it's all going to come down to this. Exciting stuff because, well, Heresy, can they do it? Just a quick reminder, everybody, of the standings right now. This would be a huge upset if Heresy take out Frantic here. Frantic just put themselves in contention for the second place, 1 point behind SY. And Heresy at the bottom here with 2 points would be a huge upset if Heresy can take this win, get themselves some points, and moreover, deny Frantic. Because that would be an upset for them as well. They're just catching up to SY. They're putting in some great games, great performances, and then, oops, we went out in round 1. We don't score any points. Oops, what are we going to do now? That's going to be huge. So this is a hype game right here. Can Heresy do it? Can they get themselves some points? Can they deny Frantic the points? Let's find out. We'll tell Robo to start the game already.
Yeah, man. It's going to be nice for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Mem was asking in the chat, is a 12-minute 50 a new Castle Age record for tournaments? It could be.
Could be. I mean, he has all the reasons to ask, that's for sure.
It's incredibly fast. Like, insanely fast. And we'll see what they can do on Oasis here. It's a different map. It's a different style of play. A different approach. And we'll see what approach Heresy bring to the table in Game 3 of the Frantic Heresy series. And this is the one to watch right here. This could be the upset. This could be the game of the day. We'll see as Frantic and Heresy take it to Game 3 here to decide who goes through to the semi-finals in the Escape Champions League Middle East 3v3 stage. Demise, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. The question is, how are you? Are you hyped as well? I assume so.
I am very hyped for this. I want to know what Heresy can do. I'm low-key rooting for them, although I will remain unbiased for the cast, just because I want to see the upsets, you know? That's what I'm into seeing. I like that. And, well, let's just see how it plays out. Obviously, as I say, Oasis will be a different approach to the last games, which are much more open. Maybe it's harder to play this in a way that's like, as Member would say, fast and unpredictable, right? It's gonna be different. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah, it's going to be different for sure. With Oasis, it's quite hard to predict which kind of civilizations you want to go for. So it's not as in straightforward like Bedouins or Dry River in this case, what kind of civilizations we would definitely see. In this case, we are about to find out. So starting with the Heresy players on the right-hand side or bottom right-hand side, that is Melkor with the Franks. And his pocket is going to be Eddie with the Mayans. Interesting choice. And to the left, we have Nili with the Mongols. Right, so Franks and Mongols as the flanks of this game for Team Heresy. Interesting. And just looking briefly into the other side, that is Team Frantic, Tim on the left-hand side with the Franks as well. Oh, interesting. Okay, and Mongols also on the right-hand side, making a quick jump there to CL and Teal. And finally, they have a Spanish pocket with Vivi. Wow,
Ooh, okay.
dangerous.
So that's interesting. You've got Franks Mongols on both teams on the flanks, and then you've got Spanish pocket versus Mayan pocket. Now, if this goes late and that Spanish trade bonus kicks in, things could get real scary for the Heresy team. But, you know, they brought Eddie back in. Eddie, the arena player. Eddie, the player that can, you know, do the crazy aggression on 1TC on arena. Do you think maybe they brought him in because they want to do some early Castle Age aggression and go for a big early Castle Age push and just try and crush one of the flanks?
Well, that's possible. In this case, as the pocket, he has a chance to actually just wait a little bit, hit castle edge, go up with the castle, and then just go for some fast-paced action. Still, it's quite some way to go for, let's say, to the right-hand side CL. The distance between Eddie and CL quite huge. Also, not too, also far away. Tim on the left-hand side, that is. He needs to go for the right side, that's for sure. And it's just depending on his flanks. They're gonna let him know which side is more vulnerable, which is more of a thing to go for with the Mayans. I strongly assume that Eddie wants to go for the plumed arches, because why not? But also the question is about the other side with Vivi and the Spanish. I find this one quite difficult as well and quite dangerous for the others. But if, let's say, both of the pockets, that is, so Eddie and Vivi are going to go forward and go crazy with their unique units, I see it could be nice for Eddie in a kind of matchup where we see Kongs versus the plumed archers, but you never know if this is going to really happen. For now, though, most importantly, CL is the first one to click up, quite expected with the Mongols, of course.
Yep, and I mean, this map, we think about it going to the late game, but early feudal age aggression is completely viable as well. It's somewhat easier to wall up between the middle of the map and the edge, because you've got the big wood line in the middle and the smaller wood lines which you can wall between. But doesn't mean that you're going to be able to wall it off in the time to defend yourself from a Mongol rush. Nili, on the left side, had his boar stolen by Tim, and he stole Tim's boar back. That's what happened there. That's why Tim's scout's on 8 HP. And Nili's is on 35 because he did a little bit of a better job there. That gives Nili the edge because he's going to have a bigger health pool on his units, and he'll be going into scouts very quickly here, while Tim, just clicking up to the feudal age on 22 pop, will go for, looks like men-at-arms, actually.
Yeah, by the looks of it, indeed, he has 2 villagers on gold. He has also walled up a tiny bit of his base. Quite important also, just to make sure that he can maybe defend himself a little bit better against what is to be expected from Nili with the Mongols. Let's see, because Nili still has the advantage. Also, is quite important, this the amount of HP that he has on his scout in comparison to the one of Tim.
He'll
so
kill
map control
Tim's
wise,
scout. Yeah, he'll kill his scout because he'll get feudal first, catch it, and kill it. So it's really big for him. And as you say, map control as well. He's not going to, well, Tim is going to be in the dark about what he's doing.
True indeed. So yes, now we can see that Tim is going up there with his militia, soon to be men-at-arms, and you can see something else. 4 villagers going forward, so it's not going to be men-at-arms, just a men-at-arms, but men-at-arms trush, question mark? By the looks of it, definitely.
Yeah, is he on stone as well? I mean, you could take the stone.
I guess. Yeah, you can take it.
definitely build one tower on the front here, and Nili needs to get his stable up quickly. It looks like he will, and if he can wall up toward this wood line and between the wood lines on the left, he can start to defend himself a little better. But Tim's position on the map is much better to wall. It's already closed, and Nili's wall off is going to be much more hard to pull off. On the right side, it looks like CL here sent some scouts forward, lost them quickly, and they're now fighting with spears while he tries to wall as forward as possible with stone.
Yeah, not much of a surprise with CL going there with the stone walls, if you ask me, but interesting choice. Unfortunate for him that he lost a scout like that. We see a lot of spearman poking taking place at this very moment. Let's see how this is going to evolve. More villagers being added by CL just for the sake of the safety, getting up the walls up earlier. Super important, and it seems to be working. At least by the looks of it, he's going to be successful in walling this one off. Depends on the scout, though.
Well, he's got to wall the right side as well. And there's quite a lot of villagers and spearmen here. I don't think he'll close the right side off with these two vills. He's going to have to bring more over. And, of course, the wolf getting involved. Wow. I think the wolf claimed the kill there on CL.
I guess so as well.
That's funny. But yeah, he's not closing off the right side because guess who's doing that? Melkor, building his walls atop of CL's walls here. That's nice, isn't it? Both of them having the same idea to wall in the same place.
Right, so he's just completing the walls to the right-hand side. Interesting stuff, and an indication that this game might be a longer one by the looks of it. Yeah. To the left-hand side, I find it quite important that Tim has been able to actually successfully close his map there, because now Nili is not able to pull off any scout rush or something like this. It's the opposite pretty much. Look at this. The men-at-arms of Tim are doing their job, being backed up by a set of spearmen and the villagers behind them just to make sure to drop a couple of more of the towers. Though Nili, fully aware of the situation, is up with a counter tower just for the sake of gaining more safety. And
but look at these stones. They're both forward now, and they've both been denied by that single tower. Moreover, you know, he's lost his stable, so this whole aggression has just imploded on itself. You know, Nili's now building an archery range in the back. He's got to stay walled up. He's using the gates for now, but this is good for Tim at the moment. And Nili spending his remaining stone on building stone gates to prevent this aggression from coming in any further. Necessary evil to spend that, but yeah, he's got to defend. While on the right side, Melkor's doing just fine. In fact, sending some villagers forward as well to attack and kill the spearmen. I don't know. It's messy over here.
Yeah, that's for sure. Quite a messy gameplay by Melkor, but at least he's successful in triggering CL in a way that he's up there with his own set of villagers, so that kind of equalizes. That's okay, but as you said it, Nili has lost the access to both of his stones. He's going to run out of options. If Tim was successful, he could be in a bad situation really fast, that's for sure. Let's see, but he's getting his market up. So maybe he would buy his stone. He has a lot of villagers on gold. Most likely that's what is about to happen. Let's stay tuned about this one. At the same time, Eddie plans to do something. Finally, we see something, and that is the castle. Extremely important. I like this one, that Eddie now contributes for the sake of the safety of Nili's base. Right.
Well, we did sort of speculate about what might happen here, and we did say, you know, Eddie, you know, attacking in the Castle Age and getting aggressive in the Castle Age could be the way with, you know, to go. And I think that's the plan anyway. It just so happens that it makes sense to come to the left side where the towers are being placed by Tim. It's really important that they get that stone back because sorry, I'm just getting distracted by the fight on the right side as well. So many villagers and spearmen and stuff. They're all just like getting stuck in between these two walls. It's really funny. But yeah, it's really important they get the stone back on Nili's side because he's the Mongols. He needs castles at the end of the day. But yeah, this is just ridiculous. All these villagers and spearmen fighting. Villager count, though, does favor Melkor. So he's coming out on top there.
Yeah, by the looks of it, definitely better for him. I mean, a lot of idle time there for both of the players. Still better for Melkor, well accomplished. But still a messed up situation there. I mean,
it's crazy. His vills are quite low. He could lose some here. He's got to back up. And oh no, the knights are coming. If he didn't spend all that time fighting and he walled instead, maybe he quickly walls up here. Can he get the wall in the north? He's got to get it before that villager dies. Oh, Vivi went the wrong way. He gets the gate, and that's it. There's only one knight now, and There's 6 villagers of CL trapped on the wrong side. What is this? Oh, it's a
most likely
mess.
they're gonna take down the gate there, but it looks
Yeah,
like
they
they're now
will, I
bettering it
think.
down. So that's good. Even dropping a watchtower, interesting move. And another gate. Oh, so many gates in this game. It's incredible.
Melkor's like, I can just gate you out again. The watchtower isn't going to come up fast enough. Melkor needs to finish these stone walls quickly, otherwise this one here is going to be a liability. Melkor misplay. He needs another gate here, a diagonal or something. Like, well, he has to build it if it's diagonal, so that won't work. This is a weak point on this right side. Left side, though, what's happening?
Yeah, plumed archers. Some plumed
not a
archers
lot.
on their way, but they're gonna face a decent stone wall by Tim even. So doesn't look too nice there neither. A lot of safety there for Team Frantic. And yeah, Eddie now finally realizing the situation, probably forced to drop a siege workshop or two, or maybe just skip the castle age. We're gonna see. Speaking of which, yeah, he is on the way to Imperial Age. There we go. Melkor now on the way to castle age. That's nice. That said, now the question is how Team Frantic wants to deal with the incoming threats, question mark threat. I'm not sure if how they view Eddie at this very moment with a set of plumed archers, but we're gonna find out in a few minutes, that is.
Yeah, so this is kind of what I expected to see from Eddie. You know, like I said at the start, he's the arena player. He's going to be doing these 1 TC aggressions, and what is he doing? He's doing a 1 TC aggression in a team game on this flank. But it's interesting because he's not actually stopping Tim from damaging Nilly. Tim is still dropping towers here, but once Eddie gets a Treb out, he can take the towers down and clean this up. His plumed archer numbers starting to go up nicely, and Imperial Age will be in soon. Maybe we'll see some sling coming over from Melkor, as Melkor tries to stonewall up this right side, slings over to Eddie once he gets him, and oh, it's nearly sending the sling to Eddie. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting choice, but also reasonable, I guess. I mean, from that position that he is in at this very moment.
He's paying for his protection.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that is happening. Also, Castle now going up in front of the base of Tim. So that's a good position there for sure. And that said, yeah, most likely just going to be Trebs and a lot of pressure forcing and provoking the Frantic players to do something about the left-hand side, while the right-hand side looks quite safe for Melkor now. Yeah, a lot.
Isn't this just brutal? Feudal Age versus Imperial Age on the left side. Tim, you had your fun, you've done your damage to Nilly, and now Eddie's here with his Imperial Age army to come and kill your Feudal Age town. Enjoy, you know? Like, these plumed archers are going to roll in there. They're going to have Bracer, they're going to have Chemistry soon, I imagine. And Eddie can just wipe out Tim in a matter of minutes here. You know, Castle Age VV with some knights, no upgrades apart from Bloodlines. Yeah, good luck with that. Now look at the walls from Tim. Look at the evacuation of the villagers, the air raid sirens going off in the background. You know, get out, run while you can.
Yeah, it certainly looks really, really gloomy there for sure. I mean, now as you can see, the plumed archers are in. That went way faster than expected, but it happens. I mean, not 900 HP walls, right? This is not arena or arena, how the people like to call it.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, exactly. You get what I mean. And
Kill
yeah,
the
plumed
Imperial
archers are inside.
HTC. The Castle HTC might go down.
Yeah, it could happen.
Oh my goodness, it could happen. I don't know if
Still
it will.
not, yeah, it's gonna be
a
up in
second
time.
Treb. This is the second time in 3 games that the Castle HTC is about to die, but then the tech. How can he do it? Can he do it? No, he's got
No,
it.
he can't do
Damn, that was close though. Again, happened in game 1 too. But Eddie's gonna secure the kill confirmed on these vills, and Tim will just build new TCs at the back. But what a setback for Tim, and
That's
what an
for sure.
advantage for Heresy right now.
That's for sure. I mean, Tim is now forced to retreat and then rebuild his own base once again. That's so much of an impact. Look at the villager difference there for sure. Yeah, Tim with 29 decreasing numbers down villagers. In comparison, his teammate Vivi up there with 82 because he's the pocket. Understandable. Question is, what does Vivi want to do now? He's booming. All right, I understand. He's adding more stables, so an indication we might see more knights. He's going to go for the Imperial Age. He's currently getting the +1 defense, so an indication that we might see Cavaliers, +4 Cavaliers. Let's see how successful they're going to be, because they're going to face a lot of plumed archers by Eddie.
Yeah.
Doesn't look too nice.
This game is going to be on Vivi now. You know, he's got to do the damage here. He's got to stop Eddie. Eddie's about to drop his 3rd castle. Tim is just walling up to buy time. And then on the right side, Melkor, I think, is ahead of CL, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's got 10 more villagers as well. So this right here is, again, like a winning situation for Heresy. Look at that. Petard coming out from Eddie. Like, he's got to get through these walls. And look at Tim's walling. Like, look at this. He's like, okay, I'm going to wall behind that, and then I'm going to wall behind that as well. And, oh, no. The Mangonel running straight into the castle. Messy, messy stuff here.
Yeah, that's for sure. Let's see how successful the Petard is going to be. I mean, at least Tim has fortified walls, so he has a little bit of more time to get up his third wall there. All right, and behind the wall, there's a nice set of Knights of Vivi. Question is the Cavalier upgrade going to come into effect in time? By looks of it, yes. But how successful is it going to be against the Plumed Archers if they're massed up like this? He's definitely going to wait for the +4 defense because the Plumed Archers of Eddie, they at least got the Bracer upgrade, so that's
something. They don't have chemistry though, that's important.
Interestingly. Yeah, interestingly.
They need chemistry, and they need the elite upgrade now, because once Cavalier with +4 comes in, it's not going to be an easy straight up fight. But there's the elite upgrade, that's good, that finishes quickly, that's going to finish just after the Cavalier. And Eddie, you know, he might lose some ground here. We'll see. This is going to be the big question. Can he hold against the Cavalier? Can he even kill the Cavalier? He's making Plumed Archers 3 at a time at the moment. And, well, let's see if they can do it, right? I mean, the idea is that they're cheaper, they're easier to mass. Here goes the Petard. Down goes the wall. Eddie is going to be in, building a barracks. This is huge. He's got to get some spearmen in there.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if there's a situation in which the Cavaliers are forced to engage, all of a sudden they must retreat. If there is a decent set of spearmen, pikemen, we're going to see.
Yeah, and that +1 attack from the chemistry is going to be super important here. I think he needs that ASAP, but the barracks are coming up, and Eddie here, I don't know if he's done pikemen. No, he's not done pikemen, but he's starting to train some spears. Look at that, he's sacrificing the villas with a house just to prevent this Cavalier from running through, but it looks like Tim's going to open the wall, and the Cavalier are going to come round. Good teamwork, and where's Vivi going to go? Well, he's going to go straight to Nilly by the looks of it. That's dangerous.
Yeah. There's a huge gap. He can just go through easily. I mean, Eddie has now spotted this one. He's just seen it with his eagle, that is. And Nilly is currently walling up. Is he going to be up there in time? But it looks of it, yeah, he's fully walled up.
He's walling it. That's so important.
Yeah, well done,
Okay, well played to Nilly. The houses are a weak point, though. They will go down very quickly. Nilly's still in the feudal age here. The houses need to be walled behind. And Nilly has to get the gates up quickly. But yes, dangerous moment here for Nilly if these Cavalier get through. But this now gives Eddie the opportunity to go on his own offensive.
Right.
If Nilly can wall this, delay the Cavalier, he can go in with the plumes. So they're trading blows nicely, and there's chemistry and Howab coming in for Eddie now. Eddie's on the warpath here, but it's all now going to come down to Nilly to keep these Cavalier out.
Just in time. Just in time he was able to wall this. Oh my god, he's through. Yeah, this is really important for Vivi, because if he was not able to go through, I think he would be in a really bad situation, because by looks of it, Eddie is going to be successful with his attempt here. So what Vivi needs to do is just, you know, equalize the situation in a way to threaten Nilly so much that it's kind of okay to justify this very situation. But let's see, because at least CL is helping out by the looks of it. Inside of Vivi's base, he's going to go up there with a set of Manga Dice. This is going to take a lot of time. And yeah, the Cavaliers are doing their job now, taking down a lot of villagers by Nilly. By the looks of it, Nilly is in trouble.
The castle helping, though, and meanwhile, Melkor coming over with some villagers, and Eddie walling up quickly as well. I think, though, that Eddie could do more damage on his side. Paladin just completing for Vivi. This is kind of scary, because Vivi might be able to stabilize. Eddie has to do damage, and he has to do it quickly. He's got the Haubs, he's got the Plumed Archers, he needs to take down the castles, he needs to steamroll Vivi over here. Vivi's Paladins, they've not done that much damage, actually. They've killed a few villas of Nilly, but they've not done that much. But they're coming back for round 2 now.
Yeah, that's for sure. They're coming back for round 2, because as Eddie and Melkor were successful in walling this one up, Vivi is slowly losing the impact with his paladins. And that said, the situation there inside of his own base up in the north doesn't look too nice. The plumed archers are doing the job. What Vivi needs to do is now hold the ground as much as possible for CL to come back with some nice help, but it will take a lot of time. The second castle is coming up inside of the base of Vivi. Is he going to be able to just step up the game with this Mangadai? Currently, he just has fletching upgrade on the Mangadai.
Oof.
Wow.
And the Imperial Age is not in yet. He's getting there. He's getting there. Melkor, meanwhile... Oh, no. Nearly's going to lose his TC here. Well, yeah. I mean, he's got to take that at the moment. He's got to make that sacrifice. But Melkor is going Imp. He's going to be going Paladins as well. His Paladins will be better than the Spanish Paladins, remember? And I do question now, if Eddie goes to the north, he could just wipe out Tim. Yeah. Right? He could wipe out Tim. The question is, does he go north or does he try and take out Vivi here? He's doing a lot of damage with the raiding. He's trying to take out this castle with little success at the moment. But he's, again, I don't know if he's doing enough damage quickly enough.
Yeah, that's the main question. I think if Eddie just stays where he is and moves towards the east would be the better thing, because then he would harm two players. I mean, as in, he would harm the next player, as Tim is already being beaten so badly there. And I think the situation still looks really good for Heresy, because it's just Nili who's under pressure a lot, significantly. I mean, 40 villages, 20 of which being idle there. But at the same time, for Frantic, it is Vivi about to be taken out of the game. Tim, there we go, without too much of an effect. So that looks quite bad, you would say. But Vivi, interestingly, pushing back with a lot of paladins now, though he needs to be really careful, because he cannot just go into a nice fight against the Halberdiers. That's going to be up to
He's got
CL.
the support of CL's Mangadai now, though, and this is the problem, right? Heresy have not done the damage quickly enough, and Eddie cannot fight Paladins and Mangadai as the Mayans here. Like, he has to have the support of Melkor. He needs Melkor's Paladins. They've just about cleaned up Vivi's Paladins over here, but Eddie's now going to lose his ground on the north. This could be the comeback from Frantic here. This could have been Heresy's game, but those Paladins getting through, that was so critical to Frantic's success and the distraction of Eddie and slowing the Heresy push down.
Yeah, looking good all of a sudden. I didn't expect this one, to be really honest with you, but Vivi now with the help of CL, that is really nicely done. Both sides are going to go for the trade, by the way. It is Team Frantic up with the markets a little bit faster. It's not too much of an important aspect who's going to be faster. It's just important that both sides are going for the trade right now. So they will just have some additional gold income. And yeah, the left-hand side looks really good for Frantic all of a sudden. They're going to go forward. Paladins fully upgraded. We got the Mangadais nearly fully upgraded. Looking really good all of a sudden. And yeah, it's only... Essentially, it's just Melkor and Eddie who have the chances to strike back here, because Nili has been taken out for now, and so he can't just provide the others with help, military help, that is.
Well, Tim is also out as well in that sense, so it's gonna be Frank Paladins versus and Plumed Archers versus Spanish Paladins and Mangadai. That could work pretty well for Heresy if they get the upgrades on Melkor here. He does need to get the +4 attack, but that extra health pool, the extra 12 HP, could be significant. This fight here is going to be important. Eddie needs to move the plumes back and get the halbs in front. There you go. And this could be a win for Heresy in this engagement. The extra health, the halberdiers, the plumed archers at the back helping out significantly. They are going to push this back, I think. Yep, it looks like Frantic needs to back up. This is important for Heresy. That was such an important fight.
Wow, this is incredible. I mean, I understand why Vivi lost his paladins like this, but it seemed that it was pretty much CL not focusing too much on the halberdiers. Easier said than done, but that was a really bad engagement there for sure. Interesting.
And more halberdiers now being spammed out for Eddie. The Trebs are going to go down. That's expensive. And they'll hold this choke point here with the castle. What I'd like to see right now is Melkor, 20 paladins on the west of the map, sorry, the east of the map. Delete your walls, run through, and start raiding CL's base. Look at this. CL, 0 protection on the backside.
Right.
Against paladin raiding. And I want to see that from Melkor.
Yeah, it could definitely happen. If that's the case, then it could be so bad for Team Frantic. But let's see how they're able to address the problem to the left-hand side. I mean, by looks of it, the Manga Dice of CL are doing a great job. And still they're being steamrolled. All of a sudden, the dominance of the Franks Paladins just too much of a visible thing, though Vivi does his best as well. They're not, both teams are actually maneuvering their units really nicely here. That's something we have to give them as a credit. But all in all now it's kind of stagnating. Just there, but it will be decided who's gonna go up, and that is actually Heresy if they are going to go up with their traps to take down the castle, maybe create a little bit more of a hole to go through. Let's see. But yeah, there's
So,
a trebuchet. Yeah, there we go.
My biggest concern right now is Nilly is behind Tim in villages, right? Tim has been castle for a while. He's booming up now safely in the north. Nilly's just hit castle. He's only on 1 TC still. How long does Nilly sling for? Does he start to, you know, focus on building up his own economy and getting involved in this fight? He is the Mongol player. Mongol Mangadai are huge. Very, very important unit to have, right? The question is, how long is it going to take Nilly to get them out? What does the Heresy team do in this position with Nilly? Because they're doing well here, but they're not winning here. And then, as I said earlier on, the late game, the super late game, when everyone's post-Imperial, you've got the Spanish trade on the side of Frantic.
Yeah, true. That could be something to consider. That is something to consider for sure. It's really gonna depend on how they're actually gonna increase the value of their units, as in what kind of fights they're gonna go through. Because by looks of it, still the stagnation. They don't move too much to the left, not too much to the right. It is CL now making sure that the defense is getting better with an additional castle. But let's see. I mean, if the game goes on a little bit longer, I think you're right. Frantic could have the advantage then.
Yes, and I think as well, Frantic seem to have more units on the field here. Looking at the military count, no, it's not. Ignore me. It's in favor of Heresy on the left side.
Right.
But yeah, they, as you said, kind of not making any progress in either direction at the moment. One thing to keep in mind, though, the resources on the natural resources, Tim's old base, the gold here, inaccessible to Team Frantic, which is quite important. They're going to have to start trading earlier. That could cost them as well. The availability of gold right now could be harder for Frantic to take advantage of. Also, to keep in mind, at this point, while this stagnates, Tim, 105 villagers versus Nilly's 61. So Tim is about to enter the fight very soon, I think.
Yeah, by the looks of it, it certainly looks better because he had his 3 TCs up really early on and Nilly too slow in comparison. But maybe he has other plans. I don't know what exactly he plans to do if he just wants.
Sorry, CL just lost a castle there. That hurt. The siege rams of Eddie taking it down.
Unfortunate stuff for sure. That would have been really important just to gain a little bit more stability and maybe get their hands back on their gold resources, but easier said than done. It still looks that Heresy is pushing forward a tiny bit more. At least the others are pushed back tiny bit there though. And with the addition of siege rams, could be helpful to take down more castles, ideally speaking. But the choke point, too much of a real thing. The trebuchets of CL quite safe there. Let's see.
I think in this position, Frantic, sorry, not Frantic. Heresy probably need more trebs than rams because the Mangadai tear through siege, right?
Right.
Rams on the side of Frantic are better because the plumed archers don't have a bonus versus siege. But rams versus the Mangadai will die when they get in close. But that was a great push from Heresy all the same. And they actually are getting a big momentum swing here on the left-hand side. They are sending the rams in. The rams aren't making it too far just yet. And this choke point plays quite nicely into the hands of Frantic and having the Mangadai there behind the choke point. But in they go. A trap behind this would be perfect in my opinion, but the rams are still making it to the castle, so it's working out quite well for Heresy here.
There you go. The siege rams are about to take down the castle. I mean, just 3 of them. I guess probably won't happen, but you never know. Maybe all of a sudden the elite Mangadai is part of a bad fight there because suddenly the Paladins are approaching and they're going through.
They're looking all the way up.
Yeah. So they will lose their castles eventually.
Wow, that's huge. CL losing his castles, losing his Mangadai production. Let that sink in. Losing his Mangadai production. Absolutely key for Heresy.
Right.
They made a fantastic push on the left side. CL just built another castle to the north, but that one's going to go down as well. 3 castles in 3 minutes lost for Frantic on this left-hand side. And CL now in trouble because look in the south. Melkor might just be making that play to go through.
Could happen. True, true. I mean, that's one way to address the problem at the left-hand side. I mean, not a problem, but it's just adding up to the advantage that they have. It looks so good on the left-hand side. No more castles there for CL, and maybe on the right-hand side he could push through, and then it would be extremely bad for Team Frantic being chewed up from both sides like that. Wow.
Okay, so this is fascinating. Nili is going for Onager right now. So he is going to try and get into the fight. And instead of making a massive army of Mangadai, he's going to make a small but very strong army of Onagers to support his teammates. So instead of going for the huge boom and then transitioning into making Mangadai, which is very expensive, instead he's going to go for Onagers to support and then later transition into Mangadai, I imagine. Meanwhile, Tim, he is going for the big boom, starting to transition into Paladins. But that's going to take him a lot longer, and it's going to cost him a lot more, while Nili can't afford that time. So the Onagers are coming through for him right now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to evaluate this.
Sorry,
yeah,
I just see something from Tim. A lot of light cavalry on the left-hand side, raiding the back lines.
Oh yeah, wow.
That shouldn't have happened, but sneaky Tim there gets up a bunch of stables and actually manages to raid with light cav. That's pretty huge.
That's pretty huge. You're absolutely correct, because this could harm the production of any siege onagers, that is. Not to be underestimated, because I was going to say, if whether Nili is going to be successful or not, I mean, he could essentially just keep the Mangadais away with a couple of lucky shots, because if the Mangadais are to spot the Onagers, they could take him down. But now that he's being raided by the Light Cavs, all of a sudden no more proper income of resources, and therefore no more Onagers for Nili, could then be really bad.
Yeah, and on the left side, it looks like Frantic want to push back. Tim's getting his Paladin upgrade slowly but surely. There's an Onager now coming in as well from CL. But look at all the rams from Eddie, man. That's a lot of rams right there.
Yeah.
They need to start taking out more of these castles as we see the first Bombard Tower coming down from Vivi. The light cavalry raiding seems to be mostly cleared up. Some of it's going through the trade line right now. And then the right side, we don't really see anything from Melkor. I think he's been a bit slow to push through there. At the moment, at least, he's been a bit slow, but it looks like he wants to make that push now. Already, though, Tim is there with the Paladins, and it looks like they want to do the Paladin raiding onto Melkor in the south.
Interesting stuff. Yeah, that's extremely interesting for sure. I mean, for now, on the right-hand side, it has not progressed too much, because Melkor was forced to go to the left-hand side with the remaining Paladins that he had, but maybe now they want to go forward once again on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, though, the castle of Eddie is up finally. That's good. And even more than that, the siege rams are now taking down a couple of walls to the north, that is, in order to have good access to the trade line, you might think. But now, Team Frantic has anticipated the situation, attempting to take down the units, which is easier said than done, but most importantly, the walls of Tim are going up just to secure the woodline. I was going to say the trade line, that is, even more than that. Good stuff. Bombard Tower is also going to be essential here from the V.
Yes, and this is a great map. Oasis is a fantastic map for team games. Look at this. Middle of the map, CL, Siege Onager, cutting through the wood line. About 20 Mangadai, about 30 Paladins, about to jump into Melkor's woodline here. Melkor not expecting it necessarily. He's got a little setup here and he's killed some stuff with this Treb. But this cut right here, oh, that's going to be devastating to Heresy. Melkor could not defend this. And
Melkor now aware of the situation, he's going to get up the gates. Is it going to be in
it
time?
Does nothing.
Even so.
It won't. It won't, because just look, cuts around it.
Wow, unexpected, but it's pretty much a possibility. This is incredible.
Wow. So this game has just gone from being a huge potential upset, Heresy looking so good, looking like they had the potential to even claim a win, to suddenly having 30 Paladins and 20 Mangudai in the middle of your unprotected base. This could be game-ending here for the Frantic team. They gonna go straight down to the back. They're gonna raid everywhere. And meanwhile, Heresy just haven't made enough progress on this left side. Frantic have stalled and stalled and stalled, and they've stalled long enough to do this.
I'm just asking myself, was this all on purpose? Did they hold on? Did it lead to the stagnation on the left-hand side on purpose so they could just go for this wonderful cut on the right-hand side? And now we're not talking about light casts that are raiding a base. No, it's just we see Paladins, we see Mangudais. It's just such a big threat here. Melkor is about to bite it here. He's just not gonna survive this one, or is it just a trait that is to be attacked, which is the wiser move? And we can see it here, Tim, with a huge set of Paladins, making sure that the markets are being taken down. Okay, you can just get more markets up, but still, there's a huge harm of the trait now. And all of a sudden, maybe the gold inside the game, the gold income through the markets, that is, trade cards, and this could be extremely essential.
Well, killing all the markets shuts down the trade because the trade carts will stop. You can see that here. Eddie's trade just stationary, not moving. That continues, and then they'll take out all the markets here. They'll kill the trade. Big problems for Heresy. Now they need to either focus 110% on this north side and kill the trade from Frantic in return, or it's over at this point. You know, more and more Paladins coming in from Tim. Good job, I guess, for Melkor. They ran straight through his base, but not great because they're killing all the trade now.
Right.
He's sending some Paladins over, all of his Paladins coming over, in fact, to clean this up. And if he cleans it up, they could still be in this to win this. But Frantic now pushing forward on the top side, and that's causing problems as Nili is nearly upgraded his Mangudai fully. He's just lacking Parthian tactics.
It might be too late though, because as you said, it's the right-hand side. I mean, the base of Melkor now, I mean, not completely destroyed, but his villager count's 22 only. I mean, I understand it's a late game. The villager count does not have to be too much of a big thing, because you got to replace the villagers with trade cards, but still 25 is quite low if you ask me.
I think so too, and I think right now it's over. I think it's done. I mean, he's making Paladins, right? He needs a lot of farmers either way.
Right.
I think, okay, Nili's getting Bloodlines and Parthian tactics, but Heresy now losing the momentum on the left side. This push on the right was perfect, and I think whichever team made that push first was probably gonna snowball the game, in my opinion. I think it should have been Heresy to make that move first. They were in the position to hit the backside of CL's base with 30 Paladins half an hour ago.
Yeah, you say it, and actually it's quite reasonable of you to say this, because on the right-hand side, Melkor was waiting. He was attempting to go through trebuchets and whatnot, but they could have just utilized their onagers. But now it's too late. We got the GG.
Yeah, and there you have it. 2-1 to Frantic, and wow, that game was a great game for Heresy. They really looked strong. They looked like they could do it. They had a great sort of early to mid-game. Eddie's Fast Imperial off of 1 TC, absolutely demolishing Tim's base. But then they stalled out. They just couldn't follow through. A lot of that game could have been down to the fact that Vivi snuck through, or didn't sneak through, but got through the hole over here that nearly left in his wall, causing a big distraction, slowing Eddie's push, forcing them to respond to that. And then later on, just very well held by Frantic, finally swinging back on the south side to cut through. Surprise, we're in your wood line, we're killing your trade, and Frantic get the win.
Yeah, absolutely well played. Both teams were really, really impressive here in this best of 3. I gotta say, both of them had some moments to shine for sure in their own ways. Even this game was both players, both teams, I mean, well played for sure. But yeah, in the end, it was Frantic being earlier there with their creativity, with the cutting through with the onagers, that is, could have been accomplished by Heresy as well. But yeah, congratulations, they've made it.
Very, very enjoyable game from these teams, and I'm sure Frantic there, a sigh of relief, because at some point in that game, there's got to be this little thought in the back of their mind, like, holy crap, we might lose to Frantic here and lose our opportunity to strike back at SY for the second position in the league. So extremely well played by both teams. Heresy, keep fighting. You know, they're not doing well in the standings, but they are improving. They are going to keep fighting, I hope, and find something. There's still plenty of opportunities for them to make it through to the semis in this tournament. And, you know, hopefully this is motivating them as players to improve, to practice, to build that bond of team, you know, in their team, and come back stronger next time. Now, that's what I want to see. This league is a long league. It's a big league. And I hope it motivates the teams like Heresy and like Suomi and like VNA to keep fighting, keep playing, and keep coming back stronger next time. Demise Red, thank you so much for casting with me. It's been enjoyable and it's been a pleasure. There are more games to come. I will say that, guys. We do have 2 more sets to go, so don't go anywhere. We do have the next set coming up, Aftermath versus VNA and Secret versus Suomi, coming up today in the next few minutes. We're going to be swapping over the casters now, though. We're going to be having Nili joining us, so maybe he can give some thoughts about that game that we just saw, and Resonance 22 as well. But I'll let you say your outro and plug your channel right now as well.
Right. So first of all, thank you so much as well, Zach. It was really enjoyable. Nice opportunity for me, but also really enjoyable co-cast with you, and nice games, most importantly, right? So I had a lot of fun here doing this one with you, and yeah, thanks once again for the opportunity. Hope to see you sometime again in person. We're about to see each other, I guess, in February on the NAC. We'll see. I will be there for sure, and I guess you will be there for sure as well. So definitely going to be nice to see you once again. And yeah, just for the others, it's me, Demise Red. I'm quite new to the scene. I'm organizing show matches all the time. If you're interested in that one, check out my channel. And if not, you're gonna maybe see me once again here. We'll see. Definitely, we have a nice set of casters here involved in a wonderful tournament. We're looking forward to seeing more of these great matches, part of the ECL. Really a nice thing for a beautiful game. Thanks so much for everything.
Very nicely said, and look forward to hearing from you again soon. Thank you very much, man, and we'll catch you next time.
Take care. Bye-bye.
See you later. We're going to have AM versus VNA next. Aftermath versus VNA. Important game. Why? Why is that an important game, you might ask? Well, VNA and Aftermath, there they are in the standings right now. 12 points for VNA, 10 points for Aftermath. Aftermath notoriously underperforming this tournament so far. They need to find something. They have plenty of games, plenty of events ahead of them, but so far things are looking a little bit dicey for the Aftermath team. VNA, however, with a fantastic victory earlier on, getting up there into 4th position and looking like they could even contend with the Chinese teams SY and Frantic here catching up. So we'll see how this goes. Very important for both of these teams right here.